everybody, and welcome to the It's in Queens podcast covering. What are we covering today? It's a March 29th to April 4th.
There you
It's
go.
always a little funny, 7 days, but it's a 31-day month. You know, it's kind of funny to think of where it comes from.
And we've got
where
April Fools in
where
there.
we begin and where we end. Yeah.
Oh, life's questions are all popping up this week.
As always, I'm Rob Mackay from the Queens Tourism Council, and to my left, your right, is Chris Donovan, who is the co-producer, and he works at Daily News.
That's correct.
While we're looking here at this, not only is it a funny week with being wrapped around March 31st, we also have some international and citywide phenomenon coming together.
Look at us. We got a big week.
Major League Baseball starts.
There you go. That's a big one, right? We have
The Mets.
That's right.
Opening day is this Thursday. The Citi Field opening day.
That's
is
right.
This Thursday.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about that?
Well, I know for a fact that there are a couple of bars that I enjoy going to that are all running trips to Citi Field for that day.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, opening day is always packed. It's a tradition, but I think the Mets are going to have a good team as always.
Hope
but
springs eternal.
There are a couple of interesting things about the Mets from our point of view.
Right.
The food is fantastic.
Absolutely.
They have a couple of, for example, Mamas.
Oh,
Mamas
I
in
love
Corona.
Mamas. The special sandwich
Yep,
is.
special sandwiches.
I call it a hangover cure, but some people
Hangover
might
cure.
actually just look at it as a sandwich.
as a meal. The food is going to be awesome there, and I think one of the new thing is that they've now opened up a brew pub or a tap room, I guess is the right name.
Mm-hmm.
It opened this past Sunday, which is yesterday for us.
That's right.
Mikkeller.
Right.
So we're now going to have a Citi Field brew.
That's right.
So yet another reason to take me out to
They
the
also
ball game.
they also serve Queens beer, Queens
Yeah,
Brewery beer
I'm
inside
you
the
know-
stadium. I hope they keep that.
Yeah, I don't have any insight on that. I just know that they invited me to the opening yesterday. I didn't get to go, but
Okay.
definitely gonna try it out.
Yeah, they have the beers of the world in right field corner, and
Yep.
hopefully they'll keep some of the Queens beers that they already had last year, and adding Mickler into the mix.
Well, I saw the tap room when it was under construction. It's out. It's on the side where the junkyards are.
Okay.
But it looks like it's going to be a nice place, and they're fixing it up with all kinds of tchotchkes and stuff like that.
All right, and
so-
it's next. Is it next to
It would
McFadden's?
it would technically be right field, I guess.
Right field.
Off the right field side.
All right, but the entrance is on the street, and you can actually go
Yeah.
into the brew pub without having a ticket
So,
to the game.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah,
that
that's a big
also
deal.
means if anyone watched last week's podcast,
Which
when
we
we
know you
talked
did.
about how we have 11 breweries, I guess we can say we now have 12.
That's right.
And Mikkeller, of course, is international. They've got Danish based. Is that right?
That's correct.
They are all over. They've got different kinds of brews in different countries, and so now we're part of that fun.
Welcome to Queens, Mickler.
Welcome to Queens. And everybody, in case you don't know, LGM, hashtag LGM is one of the Mets' favorite hashtags. It's Let's Go Mets, LGM. So if you're on Instagram doing anything about that or Twitter, it's LGM.
Yeah, you could also tag It's in Queens if you're there opening
It's
day.
in Queens.
Just give us a little love. That'd be nice.
That's true. The other international event we have coming up is Easter.
Oh, yeah.
Got any Easter plans?
We're going to do a little Easter egg hunt in my sister-in-law's house.
Which is in Queens?
I would tell you yes because of the podcast, but it is actually not in Queens.
okay.
It's in Levittown.
Well, if I can just say something, my mother actually lives in, I guess, Portchester,
Right.
in Westchester. I think she's technically in Portchester. We're going up there, but we're catering the food from Xenon Taverna, which is a Cypriot Greek restaurant over here in Astoria. Absolutely
Fantastic food. Love that place.
So we'll be eating.
and a participant in
Queen's
Queen's Taste.
So we will be up. I'll be up and outside of the borough, but we'll be economically generating economic development in the
I
borough.
like your style.
Yeah, we're kind of trying to keep it in Queens.
Absolutely.
But we have a whole bunch of Easter related activities in Queens, and I'm going to put on my glasses to tell you about them.
Nice.
Queens Botanical Garden on March 19th. March 19th is that
March
Thursday?
19th passed. March 19th.
March 29th.
March
excuse
29th.
me.
Okay.
Sorry. He's very good. You have to listen to what I mean, not what I say.
I know.
And he's actually quite good at it. My wife, not as much. natural Easter egg dyeing. Go to the Queens Botanical Garden on March 29th, and they will give you a spring cocktail and teach you all about the different ways to dye Easter eggs with natural food colors.
I like that.
Yep.
Maybe use a flower like they used to do in the old days.
That,
Right,
yep.
they would-
Yep. Well, some of that, like pomegranate juice, is great.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's also something called Hoppy Easter. Get the joke?
Hey, I got it.
At the Queens Crossing. Queens Crossing is the big shopping center in Flushing.
Right off of Main Street.
That's
there.
also on March 30. That's on March 31st, 2 days later.
Okay.
It includes an Easter egg painting competition, so you can bring your children and get the competitive juices going and try and win some.
There's nothing like dashing your kid's dream of being an artist by having them do the contest.
Exactly. Easter Bunny's going to be there for photos.
Oh, that's great.
Yep, live performances.
Nice.
And for $10, they give you painting kits, gift bag, and coupons. So it's
Okay,
not so bad.
that's a great thing.
Queens County Farmers Union. Did you ever go there?
So that is when my son was 3, 4, 5 years old. We used to hit that up every year.
The Easter. So
Easter
they have
egg
something
hunt?
called the Barnyard Egg Hunt, right?
Okay, yep.
Right. And Queens Farm, for people who don't know, it's the oldest working farm in New York State.
That's
it's
right.
in Queens, and it actually does. They make their own wine out there, and they
That's
have
right.
a working farm with pigs and everything else. They have a maze.
Yeah.
You can go get lost in the
Corn maze, yep.
Or,
They have hay rides too
they
again?
have hay rides as
There you go.
always, and Whiskers the bunny, which
Oh.
is the official Easter bunny of the Queens County Farm Museum, will be there. He's very photogenic, and he'll be there to do that. with
I'm
you.
glad he wasn't booked for another date. Thank God they got him for Easter.
They must have called him in advance.
Yeah, I bet.
There's also an Easter egg hunt over at the Lewis H. Latimer House in
Nice.
Flushing. And that is recommended for children aged 3 to 10.
That's good.
Traditional types is what they said. It's
You know what they do at
traditional.
the Queens County Farm Museum too is they break up the kids into age groups. So you're
For the egg hunts.
yeah,
Ah,
because
very nice.
it's very hard when you have a 2 or 3 year old and they're competing with 10-year-old kids for eggs. It's just
that's
it's not a fair playing
It's not
field.
fair.
So
that's good.
yeah,
Very
they group
good.
them up, and that way your kid won't
Is
get
that
knocked
like
over.
giving out participation trophies?
It's
Do they
not. It's
give out
not. It's
participation
not because it's
eggs?
really like if you think about it, it's like wrestling in your own weight class. You know, you got to.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean,
yeah,
you know,
that's good. The other, not international event, but citywide event we have coming up is spring recess for the New York City public school
a
system.
lot of kids very excited about next week. A lot of teachers very excited about next week.
Yeah, that's right. I have 2 daughters, and let's just say they will be whistling this Friday,
That's
not
right.
crying. But that of course leaves a lot of parents, single parents, everyone else with a lot of time to kill, or the perfect opportunity to have some family time.
That's it.
If you're free with your kids, and the local cultural venues in Queens understand that.
I hope they adjust their programming
They
accordingly.
adjust their program. They bring in special stuff. In the case of the Museum of the Moving Image,
Another mention for them this
Another
week.
mention
Look
for
at
them.
them.
Every week we have to do the Museum of the Moving Image. They are showing daily matinees of a movie called Tale of the Bunny Picnic.
Okay, I never heard of this one.
Well, you'll have to. You will have the recess programs run from March 30th to April 8th, so you'll
Good.
have
Plenty
10
of time.
chances to watch it. And,
I am going to take a day off to spend with my guy.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, this is a good idea because
There you
at
go.
11 o'clock there's a Tale of the Bunny Picnic. At 1 o'clock there's the Muppets Take Manhattan, which is the Jim Henson.
Nice.
And they also have art making workshops too. So you could actually spend a long time there, watching movies, getting involved in some sort of enrichment programs and stuff. So it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, you got to
All
eat that
sounds
that
good.
time, boy.
Yep. New York Hall of Science, our beloved New York Hall of Science,
Always.
is actually holding 2 different enrichment opportunities. On April 1st, there's block printing, which is where you carve designs into foam blocks and use colorful ink to create prints.
Look at that.
So that's a kids event.
Absolutely.
And
Like a mini maker fair activity.
yeah, it really is sort of a mini maker fair. And then they also have New York Hall of Science is actually getting really into sort of the gaming industry, not the gambling industry, but the
The video gaming.
industry.
Yeah, because all these kids love these video games. I mean, my guy watches people play video games on YouTube. That's how
that's
much.
fun.
Yeah, that's how much he loves video games. He
I can't
he
get
could sit
over
there
it.
and watch someone actually play.
Do you know that there was this kid who went to my high school who No, he didn't drop out. He dropped out of college in his freshman year because he was going to Washington Square Park in Manhattan and playing chess for money,
Uh-huh.
and he was making money. And he ended up in Las Vegas doing professional poker.
No
You
kidding.
know where you're playing poker at a table and you're wearing all those like Coca-Cola and other.
Oh yeah, yeah,
that's-
yeah, yeah. They dress them up like NASCAR.
Yeah, they dress them up like NASCAR. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Queens.
No.
But along those lines, but it has everything to do with the Spring Break Games at the New York Hall of Science, which is April 2nd, noon to 4. Now, they're talking about a game called Parkour, or is that a video? Or is that a computer program? Parkour.
Parkour is what some of the video game characters do in the game, I thought.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it's a game by itself now.
So they're going to teach you parkour and how to create a movement-based game. I guess it's just a
Oh, okay. So
computerized thing.
yeah, it's like my guy plays Minecraft, and he builds a whole world within Minecraft. So they're probably showing you how to actually do motion graphics, maybe.
Okay. And then they have a game called How Many Zombies is Too Many Zombies? And you
Oh,
can
we
kids
played
can
that.
test- Oh, you did?
Yeah, my
What is the answer to that question?
so you have
100?
to.
What is how many
what-
zombies is too many
They
zombies?
put you.
Can't have enough.
They put you in a little ring,
Uh-huh.
and you have to use. They roll the dice, and you can move 2 steps this way, move 2 steps that way. Half the crowd are zombies, and half the crowd are not. Now, if you move 2 steps and get tagged by a zombie, you then become a zombie, and then so that's how more zombies
Oh.
get built, and
Oh,
eventually
how
they-
many zombies
yeah,
is too many?
how many zombies
That
is too
sounds
many.
like what? Well, there was a tag game that we
That's
played.
basically
Freeze
what it
tag?
is.
No,
Yeah,
not
it's-
freeze tag or the other one.
Well, freeze tag or like
Well-
what's the other one? We had base, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I don't know, but so that's what you'll be doing. But zombies in real life, zombies eat brains, don't they?
They do. They enjoy a
I
brain.
don't think these are real. These are like vegan zombies. Or
Yeah,
something
no,
like
they
that.
have tofu brain.
And the other thing about the New York Hall of Science, which is good to know if you have children, that they have these explainers. High school kids get sort of internships working there, and they learn all about the museum, and they become explainers, and they're there. So some of these explainers have developed science games.
Okay.
And if you go on this special spring break on April 2nd, you can help them test it out and give them feedback and all that kind of stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, it's all good.
And also, New York Hall of Science is a great little playground in the back too. So I mean, you
The
can
Rocket Park? Are you
Rocket
talking about
Park.
the Rocket Park?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They have mini golf as well. So I mean, there's a lot of things to do with New York Hall of Science. You can spend a day there.
Okay. The other thing that happens this week, which isn't mentioned in here, is that we have April Fool's Day.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Are you ready for that?
You know, I don't have anything planned, but I hate to become a victim. That's more
You hate
yeah.
Uh-oh. All
I'm
right.
very
you can get him.
wary on
You
April
can find this
Fools.
guy on Instagram, and you can get him on Instagram. So we also have a couple things which are sort of adult focused. There's a new musical at the Secret Theater, and it actually has about 12 productions from March 19th to April 14th.
All right.
The name
Nice
of it is
one.
Title of Show, and it is about a musical, and it chronicles sort of like the creation of it and all the wackiness that happens for the production of it.
Okay.
It's entered into the New York Music Festival, which I don't think is a real festival, but it's over there at the Secret Theater in Long Island City.
Right.
It sounds kind of, and
like
you've
a
got
little,
a lot of chances.
A little behind the scenes.
I'm looking at all these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 shows at 7:30 and 2 shows at 3 o'clock. on
Gotta love
different
the
dates.
matinee.
So you got matinees and you got all kinds of shows.
It's Secret Theater.
Do
Nice.
you know anything about freestyle music?
I do. Yeah, it was very big when I was a young man.
Really?
Yeah, it was Lisa was one of the big acts.
Is
Stevie
Lisa
B.
Freestyle?
Freestyle,
Stevie B?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, apparently the 2 biggest acts right now are Raquel, which is spelled Rockel.
Oh, how else would it be spelled?
Yes, Raquel.
Right,
Raquel.
rock. Yeah.
And Joe Zangier. They are sort of the masters of the freestyle style
Okay.
genre. They're going to share the stage at Resorts World Casino on March 30th.
Oh, Resorts World. We're going to be there next
We're going to
Monday.
be there next week for our podcast. We'll
Live
get to that
podcast.
later.
Yeah.
I don't know. It starts at 11:30 at night.
Well, that's when fun happens after 11.
That's when that's true.
That's when the party starts.
There's a panel discussion in Corona, East Elmhurst.
Okay. Elmcore or
It's about there's a fantastic group called the Corona East Elmhurst Historic
you like
Preservation
these guys?
Society.
Yeah, these are your buddies.
And
Yours.
they're having a panel discussion. It has to do with the Corona Black Panther Party and other people who created East Elmhurst, what it is today.
Nice.
I think I'm probably going to go to that actually.
Okay.
It's at the Langston Hughes Library on March 30th, which is Saturday, I believe, at 1:00.
Okay.
So I can sleep late and still take that in. There's a comedy show at York College with the New York Kings of Comedy, which is
saw
actually
this.
a traveling act.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, that was that looks like a really good show. They have a lot of very talented comedians on that show, and they call themselves the Kings of New York, right? Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
They're all-
they're funny? So
yeah, they're all good.
I
They're
can
all
give
very
you the
good.
names. I know that you like comedy. I can
I
give
do.
you the names. See if they mean anything to you. No, I would have to click on it to give you the names. Oh, no, here it is. Okay, Mark Vieira.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
Really?
Yeah, very.
Talent Harris.
Talent Harris, I'm not familiar with.
Rob Stapleton.
Stapleton's around for a long time.
Drew Frazier.
Drew Frazier's very funny.
Really?
Yeah.
And Capone.
Al Capone's a legend.
Really?
Seriously, yeah, he's really, really funny.
Huh. 1:00 on April 1st.
Yeah, it's
Or
1:00.
8 o'clock, 8
I was
o'clock,
gonna say
8 o'clock, sorry.
comedy's at night. Comedy's a night
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But that's a great show. I've never been to the York College venue. I hope. I'm imagining it's a pretty good space.
Yeah, it's nice.
And five guys. Those guys will all crush it, and you'll leave very happy.
All right.
On April 1st.
On April
Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
There you go.
Okay. And then on Wednesday, there are two recurring events. One is the monthly Jazz Jam at Flushing Town Hall.
Okay, I missed
That's
that.
where musicians just get together and jam. And if you don't play, you can just come and listen.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And the Art Makers group at the same place, Flushing
Yeah.
Town Hall.
Right.
You get together and you make art with friends.
Ongoing.
Always very nice.
Always on.
All right, I'm going to leave you with one more thing, although I just don't know. This is kind of a family show, but MoMA PS1, as we all know, MoMA PS1. Do you know this? Are you familiar
I'm
with
not.
this?
No. I do they
Okay.
do some interesting programs. I'm dying to
MoMA
hear what they got this
PS1
one.
has a concert on April 1st at 4:00.
Okay.
It is entitled Vaginated Chairs.
Oh wow.
And I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but there is a composer, performer, and sound artist by the name of Mia Masaoka, which sounds Japanese. And she believes that the vagina is actually the third ear. It's a site for new ways of listening and perceiving music. So at this event, attendees will sit on chairs, and each chair is tuned to a specific frequency and transformed into an unorthodox loudspeaker. Now, the performers will wear handmade vaginal inserts that track the internal sounds of the body, and these sounds will create a collective hum, documenting the sound of the. Okay, that's enough. I can't go on. I'm turning red over here. All right. She also
that's
is
a
going to
good
read
one.
her essay on the subject.
All right.
I kind of hate to leave on that note.
Well, I'll tell you. Why don't I give you a crisp pick for this
Can you
week?
give
It's
me-
not
okay.
on.
Can you
It's not on your list.
Yeah, go something. Is it family friendly? Can we go back to the egg hunts? Well,
Well, this is I know you, Rob, or you have a great singing voice. I mean, I think that's
I'm tone deaf. Yeah.
well documented that how great of a singer you are.
I have a face
And,
that was made for radio and a voice that was made for typing. Anyway,
but if you want to be the singer of your own rock and roll band, you'll have that opportunity this Friday night. New bar in Flushing, Northern Boulevard, and I believe it's 192nd Street. It's called 192, I believe it's called.
oh, that's up in
And-
the Korean area.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it absolutely is. There's a Korean restaurant right next door to it, and there's one across the street. And what they're going to do is they're going to have live band karaoke. So you get to pick your song,
Oh,
and you
not
get
a
to
band
be
behind you,
having a
as you
band
said.
behind you instead of a
Okay.
backing track. So
Okay, do you know members of the band?
I do. They've actually played for my birthday. I've hired them one year. They were great. They were,
What's the name of the group?
it's the Revivers, live band karaoke with Revivers.
And they can do any song. Kind
They have like 185 songs, so you could find something that tickles your fancy, I'm sure. And they play all the time. They play all over Queens, but this new bar is a new venue for them. So go out and support some live music,
And
and
if you're tone deaf,
they don't care.
they
You're
just-
still
they
gonna.
just turn up the amps and
They're
on their music.
exactly. And the guys in the band help you along if you lose your place. And there's a video screen with the
with the-
word.
All
Be
right.
your own rock star for a night.
All right. Let me say that next week we will be actually at Resorts World Casino doing a
Enjoy
live
some of this stuff
podcast
this
with some
weekend.
people
Thank
from,
you.
Take it easy.
Resorts World. They're going to tell us about some of their April initiatives, which don't have to do with gambling. Actually, they have
No.
to do with other stuff,
Right.
Community-minded stuff.
They do a lot of entertaining. They do a lot of community outreach. So yeah.
So we'll be talking about that, and we'll be live at it's going to be at sort of like a stage. And
Bar
so-
360.
Bar 360. So people, if you want to come down and be part of it,
Please come
it'll
down.
be
We'd
kind
love
of
to
fun.
see all of you. We met, ironically, we actually met a fan of the podcast this week, right?
Yes,
we
the
met
two of us were at a Friday event, and we met a fan of the podcast, which proves that we have a fan.
a fan. That's right.
Not just my mother and your mother, or my mother and your father. Or
That's
whatever.
right.
So we will be there next week, and I think we actually have a musician will be there too.
Yeah, we're looking. Yeah, we're looking to get him in. So we're doing Monday, April 2nd, 6
Monday,
p.m.
Yep.
Bar
we'll be out
360
there.
at Resorts
And
World.
we'd
Please
love
come
to
out.
see you. And while we're on it, everything that we've just mentioned is all up on the website, it'sinqueens.com, and that's also where we do all of our social media stuff.
Right.
Hashtag It's in Queens, Instagram,
Twitter,
/It's in
Facebook,
Queens.
wherever you
it's all
go.
It's in Queens.
Also, how are we doing on Queen's Taste? Are we still doing the 2-for-1s? or
That ended today.
Okay,
unfortunately.
all right.
There was a buy two get one free bargain for Queen's Taste, but we'll try and find something else to get
Yeah,
there.
you could
Queen's
start
Taste is still scheduled for May 1st,
May 1st,
at
and
the
that's
New
at New York Hall of Science.
and we have about exactly 60 vendors. So.
Nice. Any of the
And
beer?
that's at
Any of the
Queen's
Queens?
Taste. Actually, yeah, Mikkeller will be there.
Look at that. We
the
tied it
actual
all.
tap room. It all comes. It
A
all
little
goes
bow
around.
on that podcast,
Long,
baby.
long live play ball and drink Mikkeller.
That's right.
Thanks again, and I hope to see you next week at Resorts World. And if not, we'll see you online.